I didn't know you were asthmatic.
That's extraordinary.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And it's made me review John's vaping.
You can't tape your vape to your bottle, John.
No, I've got a little pocket on the back of my shorts. Well, I am delighted, honoured, actually quite nervous to say we're joined by a hero of mine, but also just one of the most elite athletes of all time in the history of the world.
Yeah.
It's Paula Radcliffe. Hi, Paula.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. A little bit humbled by that introduction.
I'm sweating quite a lot. I need to undo my shirt.
If you were being polite, Paula, you'd now say that John is a hero of yours.
Okay, so, absolutely.
I mean, I've spoken to people who have run marathons before, and I've spoken to people who are very good at marathons before. Never spoken to anyone who's held a marathon world record for 16 years.
No.
That's...
It's a step up, isn't it?
It's a slight step up.
Step up.
It's a step up. So, Paula, I've got lots of questions.
This might overwhelm John a little bit
because John's never run a marathon before. So Dave, our producer, this will be your third.
Yes.
Whereas John, it's his first time, and he's actually quite new to running. So I think these are questions that have been bubbling away, I would imagine, in your subconscious for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, especially... So this might be something that other people listening who are maybe running their first marathon or first for a long time are going through. But my training has been interrupted by quite a few injuries. And I'm sort of behind and physically just feeling quite beaten up. And there's only 2 weeks left to go. So I just wondered, like, would you focus on just being as fresh as possible on the day, or would you try and get in as much of the training as you've missed as possible?
No, absolutely. Focus on what you have done, not what you haven't done. There is no marathon build-up that is perfect. Certainly, I've never had one. I'm not sure I've met anybody who has had one. There will be ups and downs, and most of the programs have that built in. And the biggest thing to do when you kind of hit one of those bumps is basically roll with it, learn what you can from it, get back from it as quickly as possible. And a really good thing to do in the couple of weeks now before the race is not try and add more, but instead look again back through your training diaries and focus on all of the things that you have got in there.
Well,
because they're the basics that will get you through.
Well, John's learned that he's extremely mentally fragile. So how would you help him?
I'm mentally strong, physically fragile. I run like a clown. I should never clean a fridge during a marathon build-up because I will slip a disc.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I just started banging my bad knee on door frames, despite being the least clumsy person I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is part of the course. When you have something that is a little bit sore, the more you try and protect it, the more you just keep knocking it. So yeah,
you made
bang the other one.
You made a really interesting point there, because I think we all assume whenever we're watching elite sport, whatever it is, that everyone there is at the absolute peak of their powers. And I was just wondering what you did in your head when, for example, you turn up to a race or it's the day before and you're just like, for whatever reason, my body is just not there. Maybe it's sleep or food, or it could be an injury you've had or you're worried about. Very few people are at the start line thinking, I'm at 100% of where I wanted to be. So where have you been in situations where you set off and you're like, oh God, I just feel really heavy, or I just feel like, where do you go in your mind?
I've gone to the start line and I've started off and I felt awful for the first mile, and then I set a world record.
Wow.
So that is absolutely not something to worry about. That, particularly in the marathon, I think you've prepared a lot of time for this marathon, and your brain starts to protect you. And your brain has taken in, I don't know how many times people will have told you, don't go off too fast, be careful in the week before, don't do too much training, you can do too much rather than do too little. So your brain is trying to protect you, so you will feel sluggish and you will feel tired through those championships, through that build up, and it will start to kind of make you slow down and make you not go off too quickly. So I think the first hurdle is kind of being ready to expect that. And I'd actually be worried if you did feel absolutely great and went bouncing away off the start line, because you're far more likely to go too quickly and overcook that first half and not have a pleasant experience, particularly in your first one. So don't worry about that feeling sluggish. If there is an actual injury, that's a different thing. And then you kind of do have to take that decision. Should I go to the start line if I'm not healthy? So having 100% had a perfect build up, like I said, never happens. But if you're 100% healthy and you're excited to take part in the race, that's the way you want to be on the start line. Don't worry about the fitness level per se.
Dave, do you have any questions for Paula?
What should I have for breakfast on the day, Paula? what did you have for breakfast before your big runs, before your marathons and stuff?
I had porridge that was made with water, not milk, just because I have a slight lactose intolerance, and some chopped up banana and some honey in that, a couple of squares of dark chocolate because I liked it, and either coffee or green tea. And by that, I mean coffee if it was coffee that I knew I could have because I'd had it in training. I wouldn't go and get a different one on race morning just because it can sometimes upset your stomach. And so, yeah, absolutely my recommendation would be whatever you've done before your long runs.
And were you carrying gels with you on the course, or do you have someone to hand you carb drinks, or are you not fueling? You must be, you're fueling.
I was fueling. In the olden days, gels weren't that good. So I didn't particularly take on gels. I did last year when I came back and I ran I finished the 6 stars and I did Boston and Tokyo. There I had to carry gels, and I actually carried my own drinks for Boston because elites are spoiled. And when I was racing as an elite, you hand in your bottles the night before and you have 8 bottles and they put them out on tables every 5 kilometers. And you put what you want to into it. So I put my carbohydrate solution into the drinks and it got stronger. So my 40k bottle was very, very sweet.
Wow.
To the point that it was just a hit of sugar.
So you're looking out for your bottle on what would be, I assume, a fairly busy table. Is that quite stressful?
Well, you're given, it can be the first one. Yes, absolutely. You're given a map basically, and there'll be, 6, 7, 8, I don't know how many tables there are now for the elites. And they'll tell you which ones there'll be women's tables and men's tables. And they'll give you a position that yours will be on in each table. So they kind of stagger them.
Right.
God, this is Kipchoge's bottle.
Wow.
And yeah, you're not supposed to take anyone else's. And you can tape whatever you want to that. So say I wanted to put my asthma inhaler on, I could tape that to it. You can tape a gel packet to it. So people do that certainly now. They'll put their gels onto their bottles.
I didn't know you were asthmatic.
That's extraordinary.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And it's made me review John's vaping.
You can't tape your vape to your bottle, John.
No, I've got a little pocket on the back of my shorts. Now then, Elis and I were at a wedding this week when he wasn't annoyed. The lovely Robin made the lovely Ruth his lovely wife.
Yes.
I said Ruth then. I don't know why I did. He didn't marry a Ruth.
Ruth.
So when Elis arrived, I thought, I have to get this guy Cymru Connecting with Robin's mum.
She's Welsh, I assume.
She's Welsh.
Yeah. Well, there's more to it than that.
Dave, it was one of the best things I have ever seen.
Why?
Because...
Why? Because he's rubbish at it? Why was
No, Robin's mum is
Elis
is from Carmarthen.
Oh, so it's easy.
She went to the same school as my mum.
So it's a home win.
A few years above. But I've only known that Robin's mother was from Carmarthen for about 5 years. And so Robin said, or John said, please go and come reconnect with Robin's mother. And I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. A few tentative ones in the first 10, 15 seconds, and then I recalibrated. And the best bit was when I named someone, there was a little pause of recognition from both of us for a couple of seconds of silence, and then the both of us in unison said, yes, she married a butcher. Yes, she married a butcher.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's perfect.
And I was texting my mum to corroborate and also to find out maiden names because there were some people who I knew were married, and I thought, well, Robin's mother had left Carmarthen by that point. She might not know what the
He was
marital
Cymru
name
Connecting
is.
in the 60s, Dave.
I was Cymru Connecting in the 60s, and then I went up to Robin's uncle, his mum's brother, and I Cymru Connected with him, even though he'd left Carmarthen in the 60s, doesn't listen to the show, didn't know who I was, so just a stranger man went up to him and named 25 people from his past. I think he found it intense.
That is more like a sort of David Blaine. Who's that other chap?
David Copperfield.
No.
Derren Brown.
Derren Brown.
Yeah, it did feel like I was Derren Browning him.
Here are 25 people whose names you've not heard since 1966.
It's also a bit like This Is Your Life.
Yeah.
Aspen.
Yeah.
But you haven't asked for it.
No. I don't think he wanted it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Do you remember that guy who used to sell fruit and veg on the road between People Road to Come Fruit? He was like, yes, I know him. Who are you?
Yeah.
But Robin's mother loved it. Well, yeah, I got 10 or 15 with Robin's
You
mother.
did. And he came. So I was sat with Izzy and George Egg and the lovely Nikki, George Egg's wife. And every so often Elis would get a text from his mum and he'd say, sorry, I've just got to go back and tell Robin's mum about I know another person.
Yes, I've had a maiden name confirmed.
Yeah. Do you go in with age in school out of nowhere?
No, I think that's rude.
That'd be mad.
Well, I knew she'd gone to school with my mum.
Yeah.
So initially, but my mum remembers her because Robin's mother's a little bit older than my mum, but she doesn't remember my mum in that way that you tend to remember the older kids at secondary school.
Yes.
So, at first off, do you remember my mum? But, that was a blind alley, but that's fine.
Uh-huh.
Then we talked about a dental hygienist that they both knew who had lovely clothes in the 60s. So that was good. And then we sort of moved on from there to the greengrocers. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Elis James and John Robbins YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our weekly highlights.
And if you want more than just highlights, full visual episodes and loads more bonus content, including behind-the-scenes action, ad-free content, and our all-new Adventures of Elis and John series, head to patreon.com/Elis and John.
If you want to get in touch, email hello@elisandjohn.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Just search Elis and John.
Elis James and John Robbins is a significant production.